Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Episode 14. All is fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war is the episode. So it was a middle range. I had to give this episode like a C rating, if I'm in my opinion. So we're just gonna get started. The first couple I want to talk is Sarper and Shekinah. So remember what happened last week. Sarper had his little stand-up comedy show and he took a jab at Shekinah's old boyfriend Dan and all that. And Dan is very intimidated by Sarper. Like, I mean, they're both like really like like at each other's throat. Like Dan still has feelings for Shekinah. And like I'm just really surprised that Shekinah hasn't like told Dan to like step like back off a little bit. Sarper's been doing it a lot. So in this episode, like Shekinah and Sarper, they go on a date at a like little pastry shop or whatever. And Shekinah basically told Sarper that he needs to make basically make some kind of amends with Dan. And Sarper doesn't really want to do that. He was like, "Who are you to tell me?" Like what he did was just what he did. Dan embarrassed him the first time. Sarper embarrassed him that second time, so they're even. So, but regardless, Sarper agreed to meet up with Dan privately to discuss things. So Sarper goes to Dan's house, and Dan lives in this like castle. Like, I don't know what kind of business he does, but he lives in some kind of like mansion castle place, whatever. It had a gate and everything, had like a code and stuff and everything. I'm just like, what does he do? I'm like, dang, if that's how he living, shoot. he could say whatever he wanted to say. he earned the rights for that. I'm just like, wow, I was very, very impressed. So, like, Sarper was even a little bit intimidated by that. So he meets up with Dan at his house, and Dan wanted to give him a tour, but Sarper didn't really want the tour. He just wanted to come and chat. And, Dan was like, well, you're here, so at least you deserve a tour. So, he was like, now let's just chat. So they just talked and just it got nowhere. Dan's just like, I'm watching you. And Sarper's like, you need to respect me more and everything. If we were in Turkey, we would be duking it out basically and everything. And Sarper is just tired of Dan's like little like snarky like remarks and everything or whatever and stuff and everything. And ultimately, they both made amends and said that, we're even. Like, I got you that time, you got me at the club, we're even and everything, but I'm still watching you. And Sarper's just like, oh my God, like, I really don't, Sarper said, like, I really don't want you kind of friends with you. But, Dan said that, like, you're in America now, like, I date, and, like, if you don't like how people are friends here, then you shouldn't have came here. And it's just, and Sarper's just like, it has nothing to do with that. And I'm not jealous of anything. It's just that you're just like basically being a jerk, basically, and everything. And then they're gonna battle like who's the. You're not the only bad. Dan told Sarper, you're not the only bad boy around here, and everything, and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, a battle of the bad boys, First things first, like, I don't know why, like, Sarper likes to, like, be labeled as the bad boy, basically, and everything, because he is 45 years old, and in my opinion, the bad boy vibe thing is just now, once you get a certain age, it may look cool when you're in your teens and you're maybe in your early 20s, but he's in his mid 40s, and the bad boy vibe thing is just not cool anymore. It's really not. I mean, me personally, I didn't even find it cool when I was that age anyway, because I never was one. But it's not cool. It's really not cool. So, this is not middle school and high school where like you're trying to fit into the crowd and try to be cool and try to have like a good friend group and everything. You're in your mid 40s, bro. Like, and as for Dan, he has a good thing going on him. You know, he's just trying to put on an act for Shekinah and stuff. Shekinah don't want him no more. They said they only kissed. They never been intimate, and that's it. So, but like I said, I was impressed with Dan's little castle house there. That was pretty impressive. Really impressive. So anyway, moving on. That was Sarper and Shekinah. Next couple I want to talk is Mark and Mina. So Mina's sister came in. What was her sister's name? I just had it. Damn, what was her sister's name? Now that's gonna drive me crazy now. Give me 1 second. Let me find the sister's name real quick. But you know, as I'm looking for this, it was very nice that Mina's sister is in for the wedding, basically, and everything. So that was really nice. But what was the sister's name? I just had it. Let's see here. Alex. Alex, okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so Mina's sister Alex is in town for the wedding. She flew from France to New Hampshire to be there for the wedding. They drop her off at a hotel, take her to a hotel. She got to see the baby Maria and stuff and everything. Mina and her sister actually go out wedding shopping and everything. And Mina was like, you know, upset that she doesn't have her mom there basically and everything, but she's basically happy that her sister's there. So, you know, this was an episode of like wedding dress shopping and stuff and everything. So, you know, they do their shopping and then, you know, it's emotional and stuff and everything. So later, Mark and Mina and Alex, they go back to Mark's place, and you know, Mina and Alex are talking about how like Mina is adjusting to New Hampshire. Now Mina's been growing on me. I was a little concerned about her in the beginning and everything, but she's growing on me, you know, like I think everything's finally starting to cool down as they're a couple days out before the wedding and stuff and everything. So, you know, the producers asked Alex, like as Mina was showing you know, Alex the runaway for Mark's airplane and stuff and everything, and how he basically lives in the country and stuff and everything. And the producers asked Alex, like, could you see yourself living here year round like Mark? And she was like, nope, because I ain't got it to do with the flies, with the flies and stuff all the time and everything. So after a tour around the house and you know, and seeing how cool the Mark's planes are and everything, Alex was very tired and needed to go get some rest. So she goes back to her hotel and goes to bed. Mark decides to come out and get Mina to say, hey, let's just do this right now, and sign the prenup. And so Mina asked, do you need to call Jordan first? And Mark jokingly is like, oh yeah, let me call her right now. Jokingly, of course, and it was a joke. And so they just went into the office. Mark put down on the paper on the prenup saying that he will adopt Clayton and stuff and everything. So they signed the prenup, and it's right now daisies and roses. I hope that continues and stuff and everything. So I'm glad Mark and Mina are finally like getting on the same page. I was worried in the beginning. I was like, oh, here we go. Like I wasn't feeling Mina at first, but she's starting to grow on me and stuff. And a little update with that, I still like Clayton has still not made it, but I think he's getting close like today to get here and stuff and everything. So I mean, he obviously won't be in by the tell-all when the tell-all's filmed and everything, but since the tell-all's probably already been filmed, but he's still not here, but I guess he's getting close. So yeah, we'll hope that he makes it to America. So that was Mark and Mina. Next couple I want to talk is Greg and Joan. So Greg and Joan, they are they're also about to get married, and Joan is out and doing her wedding dress shopping or whatever. So Greg actually started his new job, and he had to go to work and or go to his job and meet his coworkers and stuff and everything. So out of the kindness of her heart, Greg's mom, Lucille, decides to take Joan out for the day and basically and out to go do the wedding shopping. And that was a nice gesture of her to do. But when they get to the wedding, when they get to the shop, the Joan tells Lucille that, I don't want you to come in with me. I'm gonna have my family on video chat while we do this, and this is just basically a private thing for me. And the Greg's mom was upset about that, but she understood and respected that. So Joan goes in and tries on some wedding dresses. She has her family on video chat. She found this one that was like really tight, like perfect fit for her. Like she said that she wanted her butt out a little bit and stuff and everything. So she said like she felt like this particular wedding dress was meant exactly for her. And so she had on video chat her family. She had like somebody that wanted to be her flower girl, and they just all started crying. I almost cried in this scene too, because like Joan like really wants her family. They said like the closest appointment they can get is not until next year to at least come to the U.S. for a little bit. And that's just so sad. Like, like they were crying. They were like, we're crying, but we're also happy for you and stuff and everything. And I just felt so bad because Joan she had a great life in Uganda and everything, and she and it's all given up for this, as this is what you do for love and stuff basically. But that scene just got me really emotional. Just like like I do know in African country, in African cultures, family is vital. Like family is key. So like that was really touching and emotional for me to even watch and stuff. So yeah, that was Greg and Joan. Next couple I want to talk is Matt, Amani, and Annie, or AKA Brenda. So Matt and Amani met with Annie, aka Brenda's ex Ray, and tried to get some more scoop on her. We left off with the cliffhanger of Ray saying Annie, as you may know, is Brenda, and just left Matt and Amani like shocked that she has a name. Amani even mentioned like when we booked trips and stuff and everything, I never looked at her ID, I never looked at her passport, I never looked at anything. Like, why would she lie about that? So Annie, aka Brenda, comes in and Amani's just like, "Hello, Brenda," and she's just like you told them my full name and everything. Like he's just like, well, I thought they knew or whatever. Like, what you doing? Like, and she was just like, why are you even here? Like, this is my business and everything. Like, and then he was just like, okay, but what are you hiding? Like, are you trying to be protected or something? And then she starts crying and everything, saying that I don't want to fight no more. I was afraid that we'd just be fighting so much and everything. And I'm just like, I'm so tired of Annie or Brenda's crocodile tears and stuff and everything, because I'm just going to keep on saying it. She is playing them. She is playing them. Like, and she said that her full name is Brenda Anali or something, and she just wants to be called Annie and stuff. Okay, that's fine. They even said if you would have told us that your name is Brenda and Anna Holly or whatever, and just want to be called Annie, that's fine and everything. But why you had to hide your whole name after a year, like a year being in a relationship and stuff? And she's still crying, saying like, "Oh, I don't want to fight." But Amani has a great point. She wants her to feel wants her to feel the full effort that she's putting in. Annie, Manny is putting in the most effort out of this throuple, out of all of them. Matt is just sitting there, just trying to just be there for his wife and everything. Annie's just playing games. Like Manny is taking this throuple thing really seriously, and everything. So they are clearly not on the same page and stuff and everything. So I just don't know like what's going to happen with them. I don't know if they're still together. One day I see a thing on Instagram that Annie don't want a relationship, and then a couple days later I see videos of them filming like questionnaires and stuff and everything. So who knows what they're doing. Like I said, I hope I can still be able to talk to them. I cannot wait to talk to them at the end of the season. So yeah, that was Matt, Minnie, and Annie. And the last couple I want to talk is Stevie and Maddie, because I am not doing Sean and Aaliyah. Sean and Aaliyah, she wants to consider the bottom surgery. Sean don't want. Sean don't really want it. He's like, if you consider that, that's gonna hurt our marriage and everything. He meets up with his friend, and he's just, Aaliyah's just too focused on her transition and not focused on the wedding. And it's just their storyline is just really getting on my nerves. So that's why I'm just fast forwarding through Sean and Aaliyah. So the last couple I want to talk is Stevie and Maddie. So Stevie and Maddie. So here, I did not know this. It must have. Stevie has kids from a previous relationship, and I didn't know this, and she might have said it in the first episode, but she went on Instagram to talk about her kids because I guess people were wondering, and she said that her kids are like like basically grown. She had them at a young age. She did not want to put them on TV just for the safety, which is understandable and stuff and everything, and she just told people like to stop trying to speculate the reasoning and everything. But anyway, Stevie and Maddie, so they're in New Orleans and they're having their bachelorette party. They go to this brigade show or whatever and everything, and now Maddie is still like gun-hoing about like wondering if Stevie's bisexual because he just cannot let it go. Now he put a lot of thoughts into his friend Saeed's head and everything. So, they go and they meet up with Stevie's friends and everything. They go to the show. And then all of a sudden you see, these people and then these ladies just having the feathers, and then they taking off their tops and stuff and everything. And once they did that, like Maddie was just like, okay, this is too much for me. And he gets up and he just gets up and goes because he said that was just way too much. Stevie, I guess, did tell him, like, if you ever did fall, like, just communicate that with me. So when he got up and left, Stevie noticed that he was gone a little longer and started to get worried. So she went out to check on him, and he was just like, yeah, it was just a little bit too much. But Stevie's friends were like, okay, we understand that was a bit much. So, like, let's just take you to a bar, and ain't nothing going to happen there. So they go to the bar and everything. Maddie is still like, was saying to Saeed that this is the most culture shock that he's had since he's been in America and stuff and everything. And Saeed is just like, it's just like saying like, dude, she is bisexual. Like, like, what are you doing and everything? But, when they were at the bar, like, he said that, Maddie said that, I don't want to be a party pooper. Like, I don't want to do anything to mess up the wedding. And we're also with Stevie's friend that she painted nude and stuff that he was uncomfortable knowing about. He did apologize to her about knowing about how he handled that situation and stuff and everything when they first met and stuff. She accepted his apology, but his friend Saeed, he was just like, why are you apologizing? Like, you're too culture shocked that now you're not thinking straight. No, it had nothing to do with that now. He's just trying to be peaceful. But, based on the previews of next week, I don't know what happens. They're just going to keep on with the same conversations. So, and also judging by the previews of next week, it looks like Greg's mom is going to take Joan to a strip club, to a woman's strip club and stuff. That ain't weird at all, ain't it? For her bachelorette party. Yeah, that ain't weird. Going to having your bachelorette party at a woman's strip club with your future mother-in-law. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Real nice. So yeah. But anyway, that was Stevie and Maddie. We did not see Jessica and Juan in this episode again. I don't know why they ain't getting much airtime. They got the least amount of airtime compared to everybody else. Yeah, and I'm sorry about, my way with Sean and Aaliyah. I'm just, it's every season there's just that one couple. And, usually it's the couple, for everybody else, it's the couples that they don't like, like the Ed and the Liz's, the Angela and the Michaels, the, Sarper and Shekinahs and whatever. But for me, it's just like couples like, the Lauren and Faves, the Tiger Lily and Atkins, and now the Sean and the Leahs, the Ashley and Manuels. Like, it's them. I don't know. It's just something about them that just rubs me the wrong way and everything. And that I just never really feel like talking about, I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Thanks for watching my earlier video of the American Idol finale. Somehow it uploaded as a short video instead of an actual video on YouTube. So I gotta check and see what's going on with that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like, we're growing. We're at 78 subscribers. I know. I am going to be coming back this week. Instead of doing the Catfish one, I am going to talk Love on the Spectrum, season 3. I'm going to do a full recap of season 3 later this week. That one I will definitely do instead of the Catfish recap, rewatch or whatever. So then next week, reminder, next Monday, that new 90-day hunt for love starts. So we will be covering that. So part of me that just didn't come out and do the Catfish rewatch is just because, I think this was just a way of just having me take a little bit of rest. Sometimes I gotta rest sometimes from YouTube, just do the regular 90-day recap and just everything else, just take a little rest, because we were doing so much. We were doing 90-day, we were doing The Last Resort. We did a lot of Married at First Sight this year. So having a little bit of a rest isn't a bad thing, so. But yeah, but I promise I'm going to talk Love on the Spectrum season 3 from Netflix. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But anyway, guys, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.